The cast of the Jersey Shore ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. Why do we show you that? Because joining us now on the set, Republican Governor of New Jersey, Mr. Christie. Also joining us from Capitol Hill, Republican Congressman from Arizona, John Shadegg. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. I've got to take you to task, Governor Christie, for your vicious attack on the cast of the Jersey Shore on Sunday on ABC. How could you, sir?
Well, listen, you saw them ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. That's where they belong. They're New Yorkers. Let them ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange and stay away from New Jersey.
And I can tell you, growing up in New Jersey, they're not quite the reflection of what we're looking for out of the state.
Please, you know, they parachute these people in here and then try to, like, we don't have enough problems in New Jersey. I need Snooki in the situation. I got enough problems.
I love it.
Well, let's talk about some of those problems. You become a conservative hero for your budget slashing.
He's Governor Wrecking Ball.
They're calling you Governor Wrecking Ball, the human bulldozer.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
You know, the $11 billion budget deficit you guys have there. How are you handling that and all the heat you're taking from some circles on it?
Well, we've handled it. I mean, we passed the budget 2 days early on June 28th, closed an $11 billion budget gap without any new taxes or tax increases on the people of New Jersey. And there were a lot of hard cuts and difficult things to do in there. But the fact of the matter is we're trying to treat people like adults. They know that we're in awful shape, and they know that no one else is around anymore to pay for the problems that won't hurt them. And so we need to go at these problems head on. That's what I'm doing.
And what about the argument that this is a time where we need more spending? We've heard that from a lot of people. We need more stimulus right now to get the economy moving.
It's wrong. I mean, it's just dead wrong. I mean, more spending with what? The federal government continuing to print more and more money and leaving that debt for our kids. And eventually it's going to just grind our economy down even further. So listen, it would be nice to say we should have more spending. Everybody loves to spend money. But the fact is we have to start doing the hard things to dig ourselves out of this hole.
Well, we'll talk about this a little more coming up. I want to get the congressman in here, but especially about some of those who are feeling maybe you're cutting them a little too much, and teachers feeling the squeeze. We're going to play something for you coming up. But first, let's bring in Congressman John Shadegg, our friend to the show for quite some time now. And Shadegg, let's first of all talk about your state, the Justice Department suing Arizona over its immigration law. Where do you stand on this? Do you think this is a mistake by the administration?
First, I got to say I'm a great fan of the governor's, and I think he had it just right. The government is wasting money, and I think this lawsuit is a fantastic example of a waste of money. Maybe this lawsuit maybe this law will not work out to solve the problems that Arizonans wanted to solve, but what's the point of the lawsuit? Why don't we let the law go into effect, which will happen tomorrow, absent an injunction by the judge, and then why don't we see if there are problems, and then, in fact, the state might be willing to fix those problems. But instead, we need to file a lawsuit and pay all those lawyers. I think the governor's right. Government wastes money, and it's time to cut it back.
With all due respect, maybe they're trying to prevent some problems that they think the law will create in Arizona. Now, granted, if you live in Arizona, you feel that there is a problem with immigration, unlike other places in the country, which could never even conceptualize the issue.
Don't know.
At the same time, do you want people being profiled? I mean, do you really want this happening in your state?
I absolutely do not want people profiled. That's what the law says that. I don't personally believe the law is going to solve our problems, and neither do the sheriffs who wanted it. But the idea of allowing the law to go into effect and seeing if the sheriffs can handle or the police can handle these new responsibilities without abusing people is a way to just save a little bit of money instead of throwing all this money at Justice Department lawyers to litigate this issue in advance of when it goes into effect. The governor's right. You got to set priorities. Government's got to set priorities, unless what we really need is a full employment act for lawyers.
All right, want to talk to you about Charlie Rangel, but while we're on the topic of money and saving money and just how hard it is, Chris, do we have this soundbite between Governor Christie and the teacher? Okay, I want to play this for you because this is exactly what it comes down to, some of the hard decisions that you have to make if you're going to actually cut spending and make tough decisions. And you're one of the people who've come on this set and said, here's what has to go. And it's not going to be pretty. But this is about freezing salaries and health care benefits for teachers in your state who are already feeling very shortchanged. Take a look.
Compensating me for my education, and you're not compensating me for my experience. That's
well, you know what? Then you don't have to do it. I mean, you know, the simple fact of the matter is,
teachers do it because
the simple fact of the matter is this.
Teachers do it because they love it.
Well, that's
the
good.
only
Well, then,
reason I do it.
well, and listen, and teachers go into it knowing what the pay scale is.
Okay, welcome to your world.
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, this teacher complaining, they're getting 4 and 5% salary increases a year in a 0% inflation world. They get free health benefits from the day they're hired for their entire family until the day they die. They believe they're entitled to this shelter from the recession when the people who are paying for that shelter are the people who have been laid off, who have lost their homes, had their hours cut back, and all we ask them to do is freeze their salary for 1 year and pay 1.5% of their salary for their health benefits. For the average teacher in New Jersey, you're talking about $750 a year for full family health coverage. Now, I don't think that's a lot to ask, and I don't think we can continue anymore to be having the good people of New Jersey who have been laid off and all the rest. As much as I love teachers, everyone's got to be